Hello, welcome to Sam and Maria from Denver.
Or wherever we are.
I don't know why we look like this. I mean, besides my cool outfit, but like, Maria doesn't look like Maria.
I know, like, something's weird right here. I mean, I know the light is there, but like,
Yeah, we're
anywho,
we're in Denver, Colorado for a wonderful event, and we're not sure. We know we're in Denver because we're told we are, but we don't feel like we're in Denver. And we were just discussing something amazing. And I heard you need to put this on a video. So I hope that you pay attention to this because some of the content's pretty juicy that we will post that doesn't have our faces, even though we don't look real.
yeah, it
I don't know
knows.
if we are.
I mean, I know I shapeshift and everything, but
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? It's happening right in front of my very own eyes.
Yeah, we've been
Well, like,
talking about
even
us being in the matrix and like seeing through the matrix and that
even
our room is a ship. And I think it is Kaisha Yonokoso. So I don't know. But Maria was just sharing about her epiphany awareness of go ahead, take it off. This
of owning
weekend's
it.
yes.
So this weekend is all about like super empowered females, business owners, just badass like women. And so like that's the energy we've been in. And so we've been now back in our room and kind of just doing our AAR, after
What is
actions
that?
review. Oh, it's military lingo.
What?
Sorry. It's still in there.
I thought we were just chatting, but
The
cool.
AAR, after actions review. So basically just chatting about our experience. And I'm losing my voice, ironically, while reclaiming my voice because that's how this multidimensional game works. But what I realized is that this weekend is about me stepping into this next like ownership or claiming of like what I do and who I am also, which goes with like a lot of what we talked about today, feminine and masculine energy. The feminine is the beer, the who we are, and the masculine is the doer, right? So like this weekend, I'm like all these great intentions, but as we're talking, I'm like, wow, I'm realizing that just a week ago, so I've been putting myself in the last year and a half, like in different social settings. Like I've come out of hiding, we'll say, come out of my cave and like put myself in a lot of different social settings, like super, super out of my comfort zone. But like loving it and building tribes everywhere. And it's just amazing. But I realized I think I reached sort of a new comfort zone of like, yeah, I'm this badass shaman, I'm a nurse, and like all these fucking cool things. And like I finally left my wounded relationship and can own that in a new way, which I've been doing for the last year and a half. And now, these last few months, I've been hanging out with a different kind of social circle, but also not at the same time, right? But just different people. And a lot of them younger too, which is also like a whole nother thing for me, a narrative, like the whole age thing. But realizing that like I've still been like dimming like the badass shaman nurse multi-dimensional being that I am. And this girl asked me on Halloween, she was like, oh, like, so like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I co-own my own business. And like even felt like when I said it, like not that I wasn't excited, but like there was a resistance of like answering the question. And she's like, oh, like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a nurse. And then I'm like, wait, why did I just lead with that? Like,
Because that's our old
what?
programming.
And I'm like, and she's like, oh, but you own your own business? And I was like, well, I'm a shaman too. And she's like, oh. And I was like, yeah, like I do energy work and like intuitive readings and like all that cool shit. And then I just like, like that was, and she was like, oh, that's fucking bad. Like she was very open to like what I was saying, but it was me that was like, felt this weird, like, why did I just like dim that, and then not want to expand. I stopped, like, I didn't elaborate after that. And she stopped asking, right? And like that is just being brought into my awareness now as Sam and I are sharing and talking about our experiences. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like,
Ding dong.
I'm meant to like own that. Like in that way, I feel like I reclaimed it when I left my marriage. Like, I know who the fuck I am. Nobody's gonna tell me who I am and who I'm not. Like, I know who I am. And now it's like the next level of like, okay, now go be with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who the fuck you are? And it's like, I do. I do actually know who I am. But I also know, because I know who I am, I know I'm toning it down right now. And why the fuck am I doing that right now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I doing that?
Why is it safer to say you're a nurse versus a shaman, a medicine woman, energy worker, right? Like that's the question.
Exactly.
So I'm asking you.
Oh, boom. So the answer, because we're ultra fast processors, and I've already asked
You're like, boom.
Because I'm like, I already have the answer.
But that's important because
1,000%.
we're sharing that because like when we say something, we're like, whoa, and we are aware, we catch it. That's an old pattern. That's a relationship to like a behavior, a pattern, a response, right? That keeps us safe for so long until we're like, oh, I feel stuck or I want to make a change. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel joy. Well, it's like, what's the cycle you're repeating that feels safe to be in that you're ready to expand out of?
Right.
So, like us saying nurse feels safer because everyone's like, oh, nurse, I love you.
Love
Yeah.
nurses.
First, oh, what do we do? Who are you? Like, it's like, because we still had this like weird feeling around like the medical and the mystical worlds, right? And like, how do we explain that? And we're realizing there's so many more people out there who are doing both, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And you guys are actually, you were in the medical system first, like trying to start a new paradigm. You were like actually in the system. So like it is an identity of you, but it's also okay to bring that along, but it doesn't need to be like your safety because now you're freer.
Yep. 1,000%.
I don't even know what I just said, but
I do.
Those are channels.
I do because you said what I asked myself in the moment because I'm so tuned into my body. The second it came out of my mouth, I was like, why did I just say that? And then right when I asked myself that, I had the answer. It's like, well, duh, because people accept nurses. You don't have to explain shit.
Yeah.
And you're tired of feeling, and that's just that a victim part within me, right? Of feeling like you have to explain yourself and over explain who you are and what you do. And so when you are asked in a setting where you're not certain if they're going to comprehend, I then kind of shut that down a little bit. And it's like, all right, what's the safe answer? I'm not consciously doing it in that moment, but I was very consciously aware as soon as it came out of my mouth that I did it. But then as the conversation evolved, I felt myself continuing down that shrinkage of like, now I don't even want to like, I don't know how to explain it to her. Like, and it's like, how do I not know how to explain it to her? It's who I am. It's what I do. Like, I do know how to explain it to people. But why all of a sudden now with some of these newer people that I'm meeting is that coming up for me? Like what is like why? Where's the resistance? And
oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Was this person, did you feel like safe in her energy? Did she feel cool?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you already know this. You probably do. But this is important because we're always giving ourselves, because we are the universe, we are always giving ourselves I don't want to say challenges, but situations to opportunities that when an old pattern or something is coming up, that when we're aware of this pattern, our universe gives us the opportunity to have that situation happen again, but because that person is safe now to our nervous system for us to even go in and take accountability and like, ooh, I have the opportunity right now to change the narrative. Ooh, my nervous system feels safe. Ooh, here I go. And the more you do that, the more people that make your nervous system feel safe start coming into your life so you can start to own who the fuck you are.
Boom.
I didn't mean to take your words, but I was just like, wait, did you feel comfortable in her presence?
And I did. And now I'm thinking, as you're saying that, I'm thinking about all the times recently, we'll say in the last couple months, that has come up for me where people have asked me what I do and I feel myself shut down and I'm like, what's happening there? And and there's what I'm noticing in a lot of the other scenarios is people think like I do massage, right? Because like they see a massage table. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah. And like I'm a body, like people don't know what they don't know. And so like people think that's like the first thing they ask me is, do you do massage? And this is very interesting.
Did you ever want to go into massage therapy?
No.
Oh, I did at 18 until I knew you got to touch people, furry people. So I didn't do that.
No, I never, it was never something like that I felt called to, but this is interesting. Like 3 weeks ago, I started searching. I'm like, maybe I fucking need to do massage. And I'm like, why am I fucking feeling like that? It's like, because you've been asked multiple times by people that don't know what you do. Oh, you're like, you do massage, you're a body worker, you're an energy worker. And it's like, yes, I'm an energy worker, but no, I don't do massage. And then people are like, oh,
something just flew over there in the room. We've had things flying in the room.
And I feel this like disappoint, like it's like they're like, oh, I really need a massage. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like I fucking don't do that. But and then so that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, because you're being,
but it's not like, it's not them and they're not judging me. It's just their expectation and their understanding and
but it's also you learning to own what it is that you do so they don't have that confusion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, because then the next thing will be like, oh, like Reiki.
And so it's another, yeah.
So then it's like, okay, no. Oh my God, this is so like.
Yeah, it's like, because we don't just do, as you know, if you're in our world, we don't just do one thing. So it's like, how can I just own what makes me light the fuck up inside and know that I don't have to like convince this person, but it's not even convincing, like have them receive what I'm saying.
Right. It's not even like a convincing anymore, where I'm sure sometimes it is. And it's probably rooted in that trauma of that, like of always feeling like I have to fucking prove to people in my life that I love very much who I am. And so it's still like a residual of that rooted trauma. But it's like, I just want you to comprehend like slightly what I'm saying. And like, you already have an expectation. So when I tell you it's not massage and then I say energy work, then that's when I get, oh, Reiki, you're a Reiki special, you're a Reiki master. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, no, I'm a shamanic practitioner, or I've started now saying I'm a shaman. And that's been hard since I got schooled by an elder. But that's why I'm owning it even more now, because it's like, wait, fuck no, fuck no.
Remember, I got shamed too.
Dude, fuck no. Yeah, I know. So it's like, no, we're all shamans. We're all shamans. Yeah. We're just like I gave the spiel tonight. We're all fucking healers because we all have the capability and the limitlessness to heal ourselves. So we're all medicine people. And but I'm just like having this like, holy fuck. It's because I feel like lately I'm always having to like explain first, tell people like, nope, that's not what I do. And they're like, oh, so what do you do? And so now I'm learning it's just easier to say, oh, I'm a nurse. I'm like, I'm a holistic coach. I'm a health coach. And I say health coach a lot because that people are like, oh, okay. And like, there's so many health coaches now. Right. And so it's like, all right. Oh, and I'm like, yeah. And I also like, I do energy work too. I'm a shaman. It's like, that's like the last thing that I'm realizing now that I say, which honestly I think is the fucking coolest thing that I do.
Yes, it is.
Because it's what has merged all of the other fucking things.
Yes.
And so that shaman self is actually the coolest in my inner experience of what I'm able to produce for myself in the world. So this is just so like, like we know this, but like this is such an embodied realization of like, Maria, you're still actually not owning like who you are and what you're here to do,
Yep.
even though you're owning it in ways you never did before. But guess what? You asked to keep leveling up, you asked to keep evolving. So here's the next evolution of it. Now you're going to hang out with all these people and feel really uncomfortable again because you're going to get all the same fucking questions and probably the same expectations. Oh, so you do Reiki? Oh, you're a massage? I'm like, nope, nope, nope. And it's like, no. But yeah, 3 weeks ago, I started looking into massage therapy. And I reached out to a place in New Mexico that's not far from where I live. And I was like, literally like, why the fuck am I doing this? Is this coming from a scarcity mindset? Or is this because like I know I'm limitless? And so this is a constant check-in too. Because Sam and I are like all multidimensional and realize we're all limitless. Sometimes I have to check in with, am I taking this on because I know I am limitless and I can? Or am I taking this on because there's a scarcity, there's a insecurity thing that's actually leading it. And I feel like even when I was looking it up, I knew it at that time that I wasn't ever actually going to follow through. But I was like, I still have to like entertain this because we don't know till we know. I'm like, let me fucking reach out to them. Let me see how, like, if I'm still feeling this in a couple weeks, maybe this is the next thing I do. But I'm like, I don't need to add another modality. I literally just said,
You just
I
need
have
to
so
own.
many fucking modalities.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fucking tell. Yeah, I just need to own what I do. And I'm limitless, but I don't do massage.
Yeah.
But could I if I wanted to? Yes. And that's what makes us limitless. It doesn't mean we have to do it all. It just means that we're capable of doing it all and owning, knowing that we're capable of doing it all. But we're here to do what I believe, what we feel most passionate about, heart centered, connected to.
Yeah. And it's just funny because like I'm actually a good massager. But that's another point. So what I was gonna say was that like I just started owning who I am. Like I don't say nurse at first anymore until I'm seeing the person like, what? I'm like, so I'm a nurse. And as I was working as a nurse, I started connecting with spirit and getting really sick in my body. So I followed that and it led me to this medicine path where like I help people connect with their nervous system and the non-physical reality to feel embodied in their body through many modalities. And they're like, okay. And then I'm like, and I read the Akashic records and then I lose them. And I'm like,
they're back
okay,
offline. Pull them back in.
So it's because what we do is not just one thing. It's we've pulled from so many different resources and our own experiences and then taking our own pains and stories and alchemizing them to like help us really like feel good in this reality no matter what's going on, knowing we can hold the both in the end. That like how do we put that into a box to sell it? But really we're like, it's not we're selling anything. It's just us showing up. And when we can own what the fuck we do, even if it doesn't make sense, people are like, oh, I'm interested. What is that? Versus like, they're like, oh, cool, tell me more. Right? Like when you said I'm a shaman, she's like, oh, cool. Like it opened up a new conversation because you checked in, you're like, wait, I just said nurse rather than own this.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, yeah, I'm a Akashic Records teacher. And I always start with something different because it's everything. But now because I'm reading the person's energy, like can without infiltrating their field, like, but I'm like, ooh, okay.
What can they receive?
Yeah. I asked
It's
real
going to
quick.
be because it's also, it's not, it's, we want them to receive what we're saying for them too.
Yeah.
It's not just about like, I want if I can be heard and understood. It's like, I want you to comprehend what I do. So like you see the value in it and see that like you can also do it.
Yeah. But it's like we have to check in with us first and like, do I even feel comfortable saying these words? And if there's resistance that comes up when I say them, or like I'm like, which I have been multiple times, especially when I was looking for a house. People are like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm a somatic coach, trauma informed coach, and I do readings and energy work. And they're like, oh, cool, you're a coach. That's so cool. I'm like, yeah, that's all you heard. Cool. right? But they heard something,
Yep.
and then they're like, if they want to know more, they can go into it. Point of the story is that once we start to like own who we are by being like, yeah, I fucking like doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I fucking like that. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can have all of it and say it. You feel free.
Yeah. Because it goes back to being your authentic self and like stepping into deeper layers of that authenticity. But in order to do that, you have to see still the programs you're coming from. And I literally was just shown another reason because I'm like, why, if I felt safe in her energy? I'm asking this, of course, because we're big wires. Like, why, if I felt safe in her energy, did I still continue to shut myself down? And I was literally just shown, what did you say about age? You're hanging around with people that are like 10, some are 15 years younger than me. And so I'm like being brought back to that time in my life when I was so fucking insecure and did not know who the fuck I was. So I'm like, it's like my body's remembering being in that. It's, and I've said it like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like reliving my youth, but it's like, no, like you are. And so like your body is remembering what it's like to be or that age with that or surrounded by people in that same age group that you were always feeling like judged and that you had to like be a certain version in every group so you were accepted. And I'm like, oh my God, that has nothing to do with these people's energies. It's just the memory of how I felt at that age to now take me back because I am a badass shaman and I do know that now at 40 and I didn't fucking know it at 15 or 18 or 20 or 30, right? It's like, but now I do know that. So this is why I'm a badass time traveler because I am being brought back to my youth in this more evolved version of myself that now can like own that part of me confidently. Fuck.
So, like I was sharing about the universe because there's these opportunities. Because what she just explained is a beautiful example of like her being curious, like, huh, so it did feel safe. Huh. Sometimes that's all you need to ask yourself.
Yep.
Right? Like, why is there resistance coming up, or why am I telling a story that's my old story? Does my nervous system feel safe? Yes or no? First question. Right. And if you even have to ask what that means, you don't feel safe. So, like, period. Right. Don't even think about it more. End discussion, walk away. So, like, so I just heard like a siren, but there's no siren. But anyways, so we're giving each other these opportunities, these gifts where she gets to be around someone, gets perfectly asked an opportunity to own something because Maria felt safe in it. So like her higher self knew that she would go back to have this conversation to heal the relationship to her insecure younger self. Because in all honesty, that girl is probably also insecure, but she's actually curious, right? But you just repaired, right? You just brought into the awareness
the story,
of
the
that
pattern,
timeline,
what the why, and it's like, oh my God,
what a gift.
Fuck yeah. And like I've like there's
that's
this
parts work, people.
Fuck yeah. And knowing thyself, like, and like Sam's saying, it's like I was curious about it. Like I wasn't in this like, oh my God, you felt safe. Why'd you still fucking do that? It's like, no, that's weird. If I felt safe, why would I still do that? There's still something there for me to like realize. And it was like once I like I was like, oh my God. And for all I know, she probably could have even reminded me like physically. I bet a lot of these people do, okay, of people I hung out with like in high school and in that like at that age and in my 20s. And it's like, oh my God. So it's like literally my body's remembering how I operated in those settings before. And it's like, hey, you gonna do it again? Or are you gonna actually own your badass self that you know who you are today and who you're continuing to become? It's like, fuck.
Because now you don't need to fit in anywhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're here to stand out.
And that's why I have put myself in all these very different social settings with people that, not that they're like super different from me, but maybe like live life differently, right? Like, or just have different perspectives or are different ages. And that's why I've literally put myself in all of those scenarios to see if I'm still going to choose to be that chameleon that wants acceptance and is going to shape shift into who I think each group wants me to be. Let me like show that part and let me like dim this. It's like, are you going to do that? Because that's what your adolescent self did. That's what your young adult 20-year-old, 30-year-old self did. But like your 40-year-old self knows differently now. So how fucking cool is it that you get to go kind of experience all the fucking same opportunities you had 20 years ago with a lot of similar energies, but they're all actually very safe and like want to get to know you.
Because you've learned to get to know thyself.
Yes. So buckle up, people, when I come home. I'm owning it.
Because I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
I'm owning it.
Yeah, at the end of like the VIP dinner tonight, like they went around and asked questions like, who wants to say something and own it? And this girl, throat chakra. Oh, I don't know. I'm like, when are you gonna sing? You gonna sing at the next retreat? We're gonna do cool. Thank you. On the spot. Accountability. So,
wait, who answered you? My higher self? Because I don't think my human self did.
So yeah, all of you, baby girl, all of you. She's like, I'll talk first. I was like, mic drop.
I know you were like, what? I feel like even Chelsea looks at me that way too.
Like,
and she doesn't even know me, but I feel like she also was like,
yeah.
I'm like, I know, because I've been harping on how I have a blocked throat chakra. I know it shocks everyone because we've had a podcast. I fucking get online now. But like, also, can you hear my throat? Again, fat lip. So still alchemizing.
People don't know about your fat lip.
Oh,
that was on the other recording.
Oh, it was on the other recording. So
talk about how your body holds energy and processes it. Wait, hold on a second. I'm curious.
Sam's curious.
I'm curious as to the conversation with her and younger you. Did you feel that anywhere in your body? She already knew what I was going to ask. Because we're telepathic. Look at the computer, it's levitating.
Oh my God. We it's really are in this like thing.
You're moving, guys.
Oh my God, we're in the Matrix. Stick my finger through it. Oh yeah, that was also on the other recording.
Great.
Other recording.
I'm gonna own that.
Gonna have to the Matrix finger.
Then I do that. I'm surprised that's the first time I did it all day. It's like I'm wearing fucking suspenders. And I do that. Oh. Anyways, how'd you feel in your body?
How did I feel in my body?
Yeah.
Since we're all about embodiment. I felt it right here. Yeah, like my gut. Why? Solar plexus giving power away. And that was me. I'm like, oh my God. I am literally back to my adolescent 20-year-old self in being put in literally like a lot of the same experiences and being given the opportunity to either choose to be this version of me because I'm multidimensional, or I could choose to be the other version, which apparently I did on Halloween. But I'm going to go back and be like, oh, hey, remember when you asked me what I do? Sit down.
You're going to call Nick Chalet over for the meeting. Richard Greer. Betty. If there's any mediums out there, energy people, whatever you want to, out there,
however you want to own it, claim it.
I would love for you to check in, tap in. I give you this permission once and only to check in.
Once and only.
Who's Betty? To Samantha. Message me.
Can't wait to hear.
Ooh, just whoa! I feel like Madonna. On the stars.
That's your mindset. I'm like, oh my God.
At least
Fake
you're
and
not
all,
at the,
fake and all, and they still fucking shake like they're real.
at least
Love
you're
it.
not at the hot springs,
Love
nude
it.
hot springs.
Well,
People won't say. But anyways, so
don't knock it till you try it.
she used her throat chakra tonight,
Hence
owned it.
why.
And so her body is remembering stuff because it started at our retreat.
Yeah. Oh my God. Remember, I kept losing my voice there.
And your lip.
Yep. And this actually, the very first time this started happening to me. So, what we're referencing right now is how the body holds on to memories. And because my throat is something that has been suppressed for a long time, and then I've been consciously working on it for the last 7 years, every time I go through an expansion or a growth or a new level of like this new version of me, the energy has to like purge. And so, like, physically, this is why, like, right now, I'm losing my voice, but I also get fat lips. And this started when I started taking the shamanic apprenticeship that we took to learn how to tune in, tap in that way. And every time I would have class that weekend, I would get a fat lip, and it would like start in the morning and it would get bigger as like the class went on. And then usually by like late nighttime or the next morning, it would be gone. And then it would happen again during the class, and then it would be gone. And I'm like, oh my God, this is literally related to my throat chakra. This is fucking wild. And it was started happening today. I felt it like maybe 2 or 3 hours into today. I'm like, oh my God, the fat lip is starting. And I haven't even really talked yet, but yet there was a higher part of me that knew how I was going to show up today. Even though human me was like, all right, take me along for the ride, hire me, because I'm just here for the ride of my life.
As you said, I'm the pilot, and I'm like, and the passenger, and the plane, and the toilet, and the luggage, and the ether, because
We're all in
planes
it.
don't run on oil and gasoline, they run on ether energy. Hey, sorry.
So, yes, perfect examples of how our bodies, first of all, how they hold energy in these places that we've stored it for probably many years, but also how the body expresses itself during the healing process. Because there's like such a misconception that healing is like this beautiful, comfortable process, and it is quite literally the opposite of that. I mean, there's definitely it's expansion, contraction, so there's periods of that, but like the healing fucking process is
Not light.
no, it's you're literally purging. So like your body is going to have all of these weird ways that it does it, but that's where like you learn how to fucking listen and know what's out of balance. Like I don't know if we talked about the pinched nerve in this or our other recording, but like the pinched nerve that I had in my neck because I was diagnosed with cervical stenosis like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, no, probably longer. It was longer than that because it was before this journey. So 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with cervical stenosis. And then when I started understanding energy, it was like, that's my throat chakra. Holy fuck. Okay. So that's what I need to work on to stop further disease from happening there and to start releasing what has already built up. And so this last week, I get this god awful nerve pain that is stemming from my neck, but it was literally affecting everything. And it was like this immediate.
And what side?
I know what this is. It was my left side, my feminine, the part that's been really like suppressed, quieted, put back in the box, right? And I'm like, oh my God, left side. And so it's Sam and I are gratefully and humbly ultra fast processors of, but it's because we've sat and done the work and felt it. And so we know what our body's saying, but it was like an immediate, I'm like left side. Oh, it's my feminine up. It's the suppression of my throat chakra, duh. And then it was like, it was like, I was getting all of the whys immediately. Like I didn't even have to ask. I knew immediately. And so I also realized this is something that I feel like I have to over explain to people. Mm-hmm. Because when people in my life see me go through like a physical sickness or illness, right, they immediately want to go into like helping you and knowing and like coming from the scientific, like, well, it's probably this and you just need to take this. And I'm like, oh, like appreciate like the support and love, but like I actually know exactly what this is. I can't probably explain it to you right now because I'm in a shit ton of pain. Like I couldn't even, but like I know what it is. And like I don't want to take it. I actually can't take anything because I'm not trying to numb out. I actually have to feel this for it to move through. So thank you. But, and like that's another place where I feel like I have to like over explain to people like what I do for self, but also like what I teach other people to do.
Mhm.
Because like, they don't get it. They're immediately like going right to the how we're taught, like, oh well, it's probably this, and you just need to do this. And I'm like, yes, those things are probably helpful tools, but it's gonna sound weird to you, but this is like a past life trauma that's coming up right now. And this is like the relationship I just walked away from, and this is the 5-year-old self. And I'm like, and it's gonna be fine, but like I actually just have to sit here and feel the pain for it to tell me everything I need to know about me, and then it will be gone. And then it is. And it's just, I'm realizing all these little areas where I feel like, and not because of other people, it's my own insecurity of it, but like where I feel like I still have to over explain to people everything. It's like, oh, they don't get what I'm doing. They just want to fix me. They just want me to feel better. And it's like, I will feel better after probably 12 hours of this purge. So sorry, not sorry. You don't have to stick around for it because it might be loud and ugly, but I'm good. I got myself.
But that's why it's like also I knowing I don't need to over explain it to you. Right. And it's like, and that could trigger people because you're like, I'm fine. And that's such like a right. But like generally, if I'm saying I'm fine, it's like because I'm figuring it out. Right. And if or I'll be like, I know what it is. I'm figuring out if I need your support, I will ask you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because like the immediate thing what Maria's saying we want to do is like we want to jump in, we want to help, we want to fix. We think this diet will help. Yes, and like I didn't ask you, right? And I appreciate you wanting to help me, and also with the kindness of the kind, like I just need to connect with my body before you start putting these ideas into me of what you think it is, because it's like just stop, right? Because when we can go in and be like, all right, what's going on here? It's this. And it's funny because as soon as like I'll tell someone like, yeah, but it's probably this. It's like, okay.
Dude, I'm so glad you're saying this
And
right now.
People aren't doing it, right? They're doing it very unconsciously because they want to help. But at the same time, it's like you're disempowering what I believe and my body is telling me. You're actually like putting your projection on to me unconsciously. Right. But I can see where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from, and I'm feeling where you're coming from. And this is where I'm coming from. This is where I'm coming from. You don't have to believe me, but it's my experience to have. Like, and I have the power within me, which is the courage to face the fear and the discomfort. What is this teaching me? What do I need to know? Like, what's going on? Because then once that comes in, it's like, okay, I know how to move through it and like find out what the original incident was. So this doesn't happen again. Right. But it's like we need that space. That's why I go in my car. That's why like I'll go in the bathroom. I'm very vocal. People like, I'm leaving, or has nothing to do with you. I don't walk by myself. I gotta go to this or to that. Because I need to like let all of me know I've got me. Like I got me. And at the same time, I also know I also have people that I feel very safe with that wouldn't project stuff on me that I can share. Hey, this is kind of coming up. Like, can you just kind of like check it? So I'm not crazy. Right. Like, can you just, and they'll share something like, okay. And also, because it's okay once you kind of have an understanding, or maybe you don't, it's like, do you mind just like checking in for me or like sending me some like love or something? Because we're not supposed to do this path alone. Right. And also, like, we have so many tools within us. So, going back to the throat chakra, that's a form of you expressing yourself, is like, wow, something's coming up for me right now. My lip is getting fat. It happens at this time, like this situation. And it's even just processing out loud, saying that, it's like it starts to repair it because you're allowing yourself to go into it. Right. She wasn't like, oh, my lip fat. What should I do? Should I go get some Blistex? Like, you think I got a fucking herpes? Or like, she's like, do you see this? this happened this level. I was like,
I was like,
whoa.
dude, it happens every fucking time.
And we're
I'm
both like,
it's my
throat
fucking throat
chakra.
chakra. Oh my God. I'm like, it's still doing it. It's every time. Yeah, it's anytime there's like a big expansion. And like it was, like I said, it started in the class and then it happened during our retreats. Anytime I like go to something that shifts me, I'm like, oh fuck, here it comes. Here it comes. I also get cold sores. Like Sam and I have talked about this in our podcast. All the different chakras, right? And the different areas in the body and how like those areas in the body are affected by these different things, like emotions that we hold in those areas. But it's like as a kid, I always had strep throat. Like, so that, and that's why like all these other things, like the food, the chemicals, and everything, right? They're all catalysts for disease, but like the root of the disease is stuff that we haven't allowed ourselves to process in the body and
Dude, when you just said food, before you said food, I was like, ooh, wonder if we have any food to eat. And then you said food, I was like,
or not. Weird.
sorry.
Weird.
Yeah. So sometimes it's like, are you coming in with that next example because I'm feeling it? So it's like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're
totally.
examples because it's like, we're connected.
Right. We're just like crisscrossing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't know if that came in for me and I felt you or you felt me, but whatever. At least we're on the same fucking vibe.
I was like, there's a Milky Way over there. And you're like, chemicals. I'm like, fuck. I don't care right now. And I'm like, oh, ship's over there. Ooh, I got fruit in there. And you're like, food. I'm like, oh, wait.
And that's weird. Yeah. They're all catalysts, but really the root of the disease is stuff that we haven't processed fully.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wild, but that's how the body keeps score, literally. And like, I do feel like too, I don't know if you experience this, but like,
I'm gonna tell you what I'm experiencing. I'm moving a cooler closer with the computer on it because I want my legs straight.
I know I had that on.
Hopefully you guys don't fall.
Oh my God. It's like so uncomfortable. Yes, you have experienced this. I don't know if you still do.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
In this physical reality?
Yeah. It's just another point of like feeling like people don't get it, I guess.
Come
like,
to bed with us, everybody.
Feeling like
you've already been in bed.
Explain. Sorry.
Good. Would you like to go? We didn't even invite them. Would you like to come to bed with us? Do we have your permission?
I don't know that like we want to invite that, but
no, like watching us.
I know.
So anyways, go ahead. I interrupted you. I was excited.
I know. Oh, it's just another example of like why I realize I still, or where I still like shut that down. But like when people are going through something physical, and I know where this comes from for me, 1,000%. And like, it's like they're sharing it with you, but I don't really know if they're asking for advice. It's like they're kind of just saying it, and it's like, oh God, I know what's happening right now for you. Like, because it's like again, we're not infiltrating people's energy, but once people open that window, you've now invited me in because you're sharing what you're feeling, right? And so it's like it's like, oh, that's like their 3-year-old self, or that's there, but I'm like, but they're not going to get that. Like, so like, how do I, or are they asking me right now? And so if they're not, then I just don't say anything. But then sometimes they're like, well, like, what do you think it is? Because they also know we're nurses, right? So for me, I find more often than not looking for the nursing answer. And
just go take some vitamin B12.
Right. And I'm like, and they're like, well, do you think it's this? And it's like, well, I mean, the system would probably diagnose you with that perhaps. However, what it actually is like this limiting belief, this trauma from childhood, this subconscious pattern, this stuck energy, right? But it's like, they look at you like, yeah, no. It's because I carried a rucksack for 20 5 years on my back that my back's broken. It's not anything other than the physical answer, right?
So then don't ask.
And so once again, this is why I revert back to the nurse as my answer, because it's like, you want to know medically what's going on right now? I could give you some insight, but like, I don't even want to tell, like, it's deeper than that. And I want to fucking tell you that, but I don't know if you're ready to receive that. And then it's like, are you asking me? Okay, you are inviting me. And then as soon as I start to say it, and then I get the weird look, that's when then I'm like, okay, never mind. You're right. It's probably just plantar fasciitis.
Interesting.
And that's where that part shuts down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've learned personally that like when people are coming and sharing something with any situation, right? Is it physical, mental, whatever, maybe it's all really one, but like I'm in that space for a reason, right? For whatever. But if they ask me, what do you think it is? I always say, are you open?
Right.
To hearing it? And yeah. And then just by their tone, I'm like,
no, they're not. Or yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, and then I'll kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna tune into your energy, right? Even though I'm already getting the answers, but it's like I'm giving them like they're in the driver's seat, right? Like type of energy.
Yes.
But I'll just give them something. I won't go into the age thing right away. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I just let them just kind of sit with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you open to something else? Like I've learned to do that. Or when no one's asking me anything, I'm just like, fuck, there's so much coming in right now. Like, oh my God.
Right.
I'm like, fuck. And then they kind of look at me, they don't say anything. So I'm like, but it's different where like I don't want to tell you to like prove that I know how to help you. There's a difference because when it's like it's bubbling in me, but it feels so like light to share it, doesn't feel heavy. Like I've learned the messages my body is sharing, like if it's heavy, it's like not the time and place. Like if it's light, it's like you have to just fucking tell them. And so like I'll say, once again, are you open to something or whatever? Yeah, what is it? And then I'll just share something little. And they're like, oh, thank you. Oh, but there's even though there's so much more coming in, it's like there's one little nugget that they need.
Yep.
To just right, so they're not fucking crazy, right? But we have to own that within us and figure out, this is coming from ego or is this coming from higher self, which is really their higher self. Like, hey, ding dong, you're in this conversation for a reason, ding dong. Or are we going to be like, shy away because I don't want them to think that I'm infiltrating the energy, right? There's a difference, but it's reading the room, and see it's such an interesting balance.
See, I don't have a hard time discerning that.
Yeah, no, I know.
But where I still sometimes hold myself back is, well, I don't think they really out straight asked me, so I'm just not going to say it, even though it's still coming in. I'm not going to say it because they didn't actually say, hey, Maria, what do you think it is? Or like, if I don't, and that's also part of my human design, I learned. I wait for invitation to share. Like, I don't just come in and like fucking give you all I got. Like, and like, it needs to be very like intentional invitation with me. And so I'm realizing that if it's not a very intentional invitation, even though I'm discerning, I am to share this with them, I'll let the ego part of me sometimes take over and actually not share it. Where a lot of people do the opposite. It's like, I want to share it with them because I want them to. And it's like, I don't, because I don't want them to think that that's what I'm doing, is that I'm trying to be a know-it-all.
Gotcha.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I can discern it, but I can still see where there's instances where I do hold myself back from sharing what's coming in because I'm like, are they just going to think that like I'm trying to do this to prove like that I can do this, or like
I do that too sometimes too still, because I'm like, because I've realized this is new, you're making me aware of something, you're actually giving me context to what I've been feeling with certain situations. Yeah, you just give me the language to it, because it's like I'll think to myself, am I playing small right now? are they intimidating me right now?
Right.
Or like, do I not want to be a know-it-all? Or like, what is the energy here? Because I'm kind of still unsure about it. Is this me? Is this them?
Yep.
So it's not like, which lets you know we're not coming from ego because we're actually in that.
We're checking in. The fact that we're checking in,
Yeah,
means that, yeah, exactly.
and that's where like the weird balance comes in.
Yeah.
Being in this non-physical reality all the time while being in this physical reality time because they're all the same fucking thing. That it's like, okay, is this the human or is it the higher self? And what of that person is like, hmm, hmm, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, because I think you're like, well, I know you're like me. Like, you don't you don't have trouble discerning, is this mine to share right now or not? Like,
Yeah.
we know if, but I also am aware of still my human self. And I'm like, oh my God, even in some instances where I know it's for the highest and best to share it, I still shut it down. Why is that? Oh, because I don't want them to think I'm trying to be a know it all.
To take up space.
Yep.
Do you know that our goodie bags for this event? I don't even know if we said that on this video, but we're at an event in the spaceship. But our goodie bags. Maria got these big ass bags, and it was funny because they went in bags. And
Bags and bags.
We just had like these big bags, and all has like a magnet, crystals, and like a little story about us because our body medicine retreat things didn't come in time. But it was just funny because like, why am I telling us?
Probably small.
Oh,
no
take up
more.
space. Thank
Yeah.
you. I was like, rewind. So you can do that, guys. You can bend time, you can rewind and fast forward. You're like,
Limitless.
so it's just change dial. So
Limitless.
like, I just heard mind blowing people. Yeah, because it just validated stuff that
People are like, can
curious about.
Yeah, you can.
So yeah, so we had these big ass goodie bags, and it's funny because like take up space, and they're like bright goodie bags, and this whole conversation started with Maria owning as well as I, what do we do, who we are, da 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 da. And at the VIP dinner tonight, she spoke, right, as a girl. And then it like empowered me. So first off, like the table, they were going around in a circle, everyone was like saying something, like hi. We had came in late, divine timing.
Divine time.
And linear late. But no one shamed us or anything, like, oh cool, But there was like 7 people before me that were supposed to have introductions, but they had already gone by the time we sat down. So all of a sudden they skipped to me, and I'm like, because like I didn't prepare a speech, right? And I was like, wait, just fucking go. And then after I was like, did I even say my name? The girl next to me was like, yeah, you're good. I was like, okay. So like, then Maria spoke, and then we were given the opportunity at the end, like, anyone want to claim something. This girl, she speaks first, right? I already shared that. But like, it was taking up space is okay. So when she spoke, it gave me like this boost of courage. Like, I'm going to fucking claim shit too, because I've been thinking about it. I just say it to one person. I'm going to fucking say it to the room, because the room had so much energy that I'm like, if we're going to claim something, this is one of the places to fucking do it, especially in the spaceship, right? Like, let's go. Legit. Richard Greer, Bashar, Stephen Greer, sorry. So like, I'm like, whether this be the Matrix or like the 12th dimensional version of the Matrix, I'm cool for it. So like, let's take up space. And like, it felt so freeing to like just own things out loud with a group of women that are also owning stuff that are from the heart. And like, I'm like, this is so badass, because we're all working through the same thing in one form or another. Yep. So like, take up space, own what you do, even if you don't even fucking know what it is. If it's like, I like to go for walks, own it. Like this woman today, she was like, I love to like, what she called it? One of her elevated state things is she likes to watch dogs, right? I have been watching dogs a lot lately, like videos. I'm like, just brings me so much joy. And like, that is an elevated state thing for me. So like, maybe that's just what you start claiming, right? Like, just it doesn't have to be like, I claim that I'm a shaman or I'm a whatever. Like, what do you like? What lights you up? Claim that. And then, like, be curious about what comes the more you start claiming that about yourself.
It's coming in, which is interesting because we talk so much about the energy of attachment. And like, I just asked them, like, all right, I have a question, higher self. If I'm claiming something, how is that different than becoming attached to something? Because I'm basically, when you claim something, you're owning something, right? And like owning, there's like attachment in owning, in ownership. And I'm like, what is the difference? Like, and it's like, well, you can claim things without being attached. And it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about how we were talking yesterday about how we're like, oh, our visions keep changing and shifting and evolving. And it's like, so we're just super unattached to how things manifest and are co-created. It's like we're just unattached to it. But so this whole claim, I'm like, I got like there was just something in that I felt like I needed to like feel into. I'm like, how is that different than being attached? But I'm just hearing that like claiming something is just basically saying it's another way of saying like I'm a multidimensional badass and I can do it all, but I'm none of it too. Meaning, and that's the unattachment to it. That's the unattachment to it. And just because I'm claiming my shaman self today doesn't mean that I have to attach to that now and that becomes my sole identity. That like 10 years from now, I'm still claiming that. Maybe I'm claiming something completely different, right? So it's being able to claim these things because it's really just seeing your worth, right? It's another way of like knowing your worth and you're worthy of claiming all of it, but realizing you're none of it, attaching to none of it because it's all just a temporary experience, regardless.
When you were talking, all I heard was attachment is lack. And I was like, is it though? Right? I was like, is it? And
It's
like
survival.
yes. And when you're, let's say, claiming, we'll just use shamans. We keep saying that. Like, I'm claiming that I am a shaman, right? Well, what does the word claim break up?
I am is in there.
Yes.
CLAIM.
But what's claim backwards? Milk. They're sorry, my higher self is having me like fixate on the word claim, like breaking it up. They're like showing me becoming like symbols. But anyways, we'll go back to that.
I know I'm typing.
Brief intermission break.
Like,
but
see the word.
When we're claiming something, like when I say we're owning something, it's owning the energy of that within our bodies. Like, ooh, I do own that in my medicine woman because that is part of my spirit.
Thank you for saying that. Because I was going to say it's one aspect of my multidimensional self that I'm now feeling comfortable claiming.
Yeah. So I own that because like it is part of me, right? It doesn't have to be my whole season. Maybe it's like 3 days of my season, but I'm doing it. And that opens up space for me to like own more parts of me. And what owning means just I witness. And then now I show you so much love. Like I accept you for you and the energy of what you are. And I can say that out loud. That's really what like taking ownership is, like accepting the facets. This is fucking deep. Accepting the facets of
I know. That's why I had to ask the question because I'm like, there's something in this about because I associate the word claim with owning something, and I associate owning something with being attached to something, right? You have like something, you're saying something is your property, right? So there's an attachment. There's an attachment. So I'm like, how the fuck is it different? But yet I know it's different because it feels different in my body.
Yeah, you're coming from a different frequency.
Right. It's like I do know it's different, but I'm really interested to like deep dive into why it's different. And it's like, oh, so now I'm looking at the word claim. So I am is in there, but it's like you have to jumble the words. But interesting, what is in there is
Oh, you wrote
aim.
me a text.
Yeah, during the thing.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, thanks. Oh, look at it. Sorry.
Yeah, when they told us to send the text message.
I was using WhatsApp because I didn't really have service in there.
Oh, yeah. The word aim is in there, which is just interesting
Claim
because it's like
and lame.
when you're claiming something, there's also something you were aiming for, right? That now you've claimed that, but you were aiming for something, right? Like I've been aiming, like I was aiming to find myself, right? And pretty cool. One of myself is a shaman. One of myself is a shaman. And now I feel comfortable to claim that part. But I'm unattached to how that shaman self expresses herself. Because shaman's also just a label.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm claiming that, but what's a shaman? Right?
It's a medicine person.
Right? And so I have my own unique way of expressing who that shaman self is. And I'm allowing myself to be unattached to how that part of me will continue to express itself throughout this physical reality because it's going to continue to evolve and shift. So that's the claiming and then the not being attached.
Is the word lacking claim?
No.
Okay. So the attachment, when we're like fixed, so attachment, like a wounded, a lower density frequency of attachment is like I'm fixated on it. Like I need it, right? This is my identity. Or like I don't know me without that. And so it's like I have to like hold on to this, which actually it ends up maybe at first it feels like, ooh, did it. But then it becomes like a very lack scarcity frequency because you're holding on to it so tight that you're not giving it space to breathe for you to like open up to the other possibilities of what you are, what you can experience, and whatever you're, because you're attached to one thing, right? So if she's just like, I'm a shaman, which a shaman is it's a multidimensional being, basically, right? But like her human and her soul do other things for people. So it's like if she just attached to that, which me and her have seen a lot of healers, holistic practitioners, breeders, they attach to the one way they know how to teach it. And it's
or the
still
one modality they offer.
And it's still very in the box. So they're actually attaching to, which is causing lack because they're not giving themselves the permission to like go outside that and to explore that, which brings in more abundance.
Yes.
Where they have the opportunity to attach, but really claim, like, oh, I'm going to claim this part of me now. And I'm going to claim this part of me. And I can still keep this in the back pocket. Or I can do all of them, like find a way to merge all of them together. Like I'm doing my academy. Like, and what we do in our body medicine retreat, like we bring, like, people are like, what do you do at it? I'm like,
energy once work. Again, hard to explain because it's like, oh my God, we do so fucking much.
Yeah,
like
inner child work,
you just have to
system, come. Fire throwing, dancing, howling at the moon,
like screaming the word fuck,
creative different ways
in
to
the most
express yourself.
way.
Yeah, literally, we were like, fuck.
It and was the moon so amazing, and that was the night of Lionsgate. That was wild.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I was like, wow, we are literally hosting an embodied medicine wellness retreat. And we're all screaming, fuck,
around a fire.
Feels so good. We're laughing about like, wow. And it's like, I know this because it's something I've done for cathartic releases. And that's why we did it. That's because once again, we share what we've done. And hey guys, want to try this? And next thing we know, and then we're howling and we're screaming and like, it was fucking bad.
And that's why the DJ overbooked themselves because we were supposed to do that. Because you can't be attached to a schedule or to an outcome because based on the energies of other people and whatever you're navigating, you shift like the next medicine. That's what it is. The wisdom and the joy and the discomfort is all medicine. All of it is medicine.
All of it.
Right. And so like if you can't embody or like be aware that it's okay to pivot and shift, you're attached to something, and then you're working in a lack, and that just lowers the frequency of whatever environment you're in. And it's funny because do you remember like when I was like, oh, let's do the
Heart coherence.
Yeah. And you're like, I'll start, you take it over. I'm like, fuck, I don't remember. I'll just channel it. It's fine. But I was like, all right, everybody get in a circle. Like, and people were in a circle. Like, it was like it was weird. And then I was like, why do it need to be in a fucking circle? Right? Like, it was just like this quick, like, fuck it. It doesn't even be a circle. Just get over here. Right? And everyone's just in their spot. I'm like, that just felt so much more freeing. Because I was attached that it had to be a circle, because that's when I learned it. I learned it by being in a circle. And I'm like, duh, that's such an attachment to like, they're all sitting where they are. And as long as they can hear me, it's going to work because we are the container. Right? We are whatever we bring through is the feeling. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking circle or a square or triangle. It's like, maybe that makes it more powerful. I don't know. But like, as long as your intention is pure and you connect, it's powerful.
Exactly.
It's just as powerful because you're coming from love versus an attachment. Everyone needs to be in this fucking circle. But it was just so funny. I was like, me telling people to get in an exact circle? Huh. Why? I was like, that's because I learned it in a circle.
It's the program.
Yeah.
It's just like another example of how like the program self pops in and you don't even realize. It's like, wait, why am I? And yes, are there, energetics to the flow of certain shape? 1,000%, right? But beyond that, it's the same way that Sam and I can do healings on Zoom sessions just as much as we can do them in person, because we know that whole space and time is actually an illusion, right? And so you could be on the other side of the map and we can do a reading for you and we're not even connected on Zoom. Like, we're telling somebody that today, how we can do distant readings. Like, we just need your permission to tune into your energy and boom. So it's all about the intention. And then especially when you're doing heart coherence, it's like, it don't matter what shape we were in. We could have people floating down the river, as long as we're all on that same vibration. So we're all just as connected as if we were together in a circle or spread out across the land, but we were all tuned into the same frequency, doing the same thing with the same intention. So it's literally breaking again that illusion of space, and that matters, because I know a lot of times people are still surprised that like I do what I do on. They're like, you do it on Zoom? I'm like, yeah. They're like, how does that work? I'm like, that's actually how I learned. Like, because I took the shamanic stuff right during COVID, so everything was remote.
Which is wild because I was in person for it.
I know, which was really cool though. I needed that experience to break that illusion very quickly in this, to realize like, wait, I don't have to be in person to do this shit. Like, so by learning it that soon in that way, like I'm like, oh, I had to go through that experience in that way to break that limiting belief of like that you have to be in person. Now, don't get me wrong, in-person sessions, usually for the person receiving it, can be more powerful just because we have that belief of, and human connection it's a real thing. Like, there's touch, there's, so I mean, there's that, but you can have just as shifting of an experience in a Zoom session, whether we're live with you on it or recorded a session for you.
You know what's so funny? I've never wondered why, I mean, other than the pandemic, I never wondered why until this now moment. Why did I do it in person and you did it Zoom? Because I also, when everything went on Zoom, I was like, fuck, I can't, like, how do you, what? Fuck. So, like, I was like, I'm just gonna sign up for this class. It's cheap. I'm gonna see if this is a real thing. And I was like, ooh, I feel a lot of things. Oh, this is real. But so I just asked, like, why did I need to be at Circles of Wisdom to like learn it? Right. And it was like, because you got the message while you were there. I want to work here one day. But it wasn't I want to, it was like I will be working here one day. And I remember when that first came in, I was like, okay. But I remember being in the room, be like, I could run this. And then for me to even say that to myself is still being very much in this hospital. I was like, did I just say, like, who the fuck is that?
What?
Yeah. Because this was before I knew parts work and nervous system, right? So I was like, who the fuck? And then when we both went full in on the business, I was in Arizona after like my surgery, and I was like, you know where we need to get into? Circles. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah, where we did. You did it online. I did it in person. Shit you not, was it that night or the next morning? I have an email
Yes.
from
Fuck, I
Circles.
remember that.
Oh, would you like to come in for a job interview to do a reading? I was like, Maria, Maria. So that's why I had to be there in person.
Yep.
Because you were moving.
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't need to be there
and
in
you
person.
built a lot of community there.
I did. I'm so grateful for Circle. I'm still
And
there.
hence why I had to go to Tico Time, because that's where I built my community.
Mm-hmm.
Communities beyond that, but like that's exactly why. And for me, I had, because I was still new into like taking classes, but I had so much self-doubt. And the only way I was going to break through it was to do it in like the way that I perceived to be harder right off the bat. Because that's how I do life too. It's like just like how I was saying with like, I'm trying to explain to people when I'm like sick, like, do not worry about me until I tell, like, if I'm worried, then fucking worry. Like, cause I'm not one of those that's like, gonna ignore it. Hence why I reached out to Sam the other day. I was like, all right, it's just a medical emergency. Even though I know it's not, I need your validation that it's not. And once you give me that validation, I know it's gonna move through. And that's what happened.
And all she had to say was, is this a medical emergency?
Yep.
She didn't ask for valid. She was just like, is it? No. Okay.
She's like, I'm hearing it's all energy. I'm like, yep, I know. And then like we were both like, it's this person, it's that relationship, it's and we're like, yep, 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 yep. And as soon as I got that added validation, it was like, oh my God, the 12 hours of excruciating pain, I think is finally like it's simmering down. And it's like, yeah, because you knew what it was. You also knew that you had to sit through that and feel that. Mm-hmm. And that's like the part that still is sometimes hard for other people to understand, because we live in a society that's like, oh God, let's fix this. Let's get rid of this pain right now. And it's like, no, no, no. I'm not trying to get you. People don't understand. I'm not trying to get rid of the pain. That's even though like there's a part of me crying out like, oh my God, I want to die. Like, it's like, no, but like I also don't want to get rid of this pain right now because I spent way too long doing that in life. And ironically, it made me very sick. And so now it's like, no, do not get rid of the pain. This pain has so much fucking purpose and it is my most powerful teacher, but I need to fucking let it sit in wherever it's sitting right now, or I need to puke or whatever the physical symptom is to like just allow it to finally move through. And it's like, oh, that's what it was. Like I've literally been mid puke. And like as I'm throwing up, I'm being shown like what I'm actually throwing up. And I'm like, oh, oh. It's like, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I
gotta go to bed.
Me too. And I'll just end with this because like when people ask, how do you do this? Like, how are you connected? Or like, why isn't things happening fast enough? Or I want to do this. It's like, can you even sit with yourself? Can you sit with yourself, honestly? Right. And I don't mean like with the TV on.
No, with
like scrolling out. You can have music on, right? Like calming frequencies or whatever. But even sometimes you just sit in silence with yourself and like know that you're okay. And like really sit and be aware of what your body, your mind, and your spirit are communicating. Like, can you sit there? Because if you can't, that's where you begin.
Yep.
And like with my clients and my students, I'm just like, I know you want this to happen because I know you see yourself there. And also there's this whole thing. Otherwise, you're gonna do this, you're gonna fucking crash and burn. And you're not gonna want to do this passion because you feel ugh, right. So like you have to do, can I sit with myself? Well, I don't remember any of that in my childhood. Cool, start there. Body, well, I don't remember anything in my childhood. And whatever comes in, you follow that, right? Or your toe itches, you follow the toe. Your body is like telling you all the time. It's not
all the time.
Yeah. So to take up space, to own what you want, to claim it, right? It's connecting with your body. What's the body fucking telling you? And are you ready to listen to it? And if not, that's cool, but like make a note of that to go back to it because it's going to keep coming up or it's going to build.
It's going to get louder. And take it from someone who had a lot of physical disease in her body. And gratefully, though, because it was the beginning of my awakenings, but it will get loud and louder and louder until it screams in diagnoses that we usually don't want. So learn to listen to those subtle little cramps, subtle little twinges. Like nothing is a coincidence. Like it's all energy. And so it's when you like sit with self, like I've done it so many times in complete silence. And I'm not gonna lie, when you first do it, whew, so fucking uncomfortable because you realize how much your mind is racing with thoughts. That's what I first realized. Oh my God. Then I realized how toxic the thoughts were. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what I'm like thinking all the time. What the fuck?
Mm.
So
you slow down.
Yeah. And it's like a lot of people today that I've talked to, like I'm such a feeler and I've always been a feeler. Which is also why I feel like I've felt a lot of pain because I haven't like I fucking feel it. I've always been a very, very deep feeler of all things. But a lot of people, like when I ask that question, they're like, I don't even know what's 1212 was weird. It just lit up.
Oh my God, I just looked up there, 1212.
My phone just lit up. I'm like, 1212. People are like, I don't even actually know like what I feel in my body. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Or they're like, what do you mean?
Yes. Like, and or they don't even say that. They just look at you with a blank stare. I'm like, oh, they don't know what I asked. Like, I'm like, oh my God, of course they don't. Like, no, because we've all been fucking programmed to not feel. And I'm like, okay. And it's like how you were saying, like, you start with literally sitting with self, asking yourself the questions that you would go to a psychic and ask. Because guess what? You have all the answers better than any psychic you could go to. Sit like I've told people to do that. I'm like, what would you go ask a psychic? And it's like they can come with like a battery list of fucking like 30. It's like, oh, and I'm like, all right, cool. Have you asked yourself those questions and then sat with self in silence, not like you're saying, not distracted, not doom scrolling, not Netflix on in the background, like not like no fucking distractions. That's how you get to know yourself and what you're feeling and your own energy, which then makes discerning everything outside of us so much fucking easier.
Yep. So, smell no more, baby. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us in bed.
Take up space.
Embody Medicine Retreat, August 2026, New Mexico. Love you. Bye.
Peace.